It's back to cooperative championship action on a Thursday night here on Sky Sports, with Featherstone Rovers aiming to go top of the table with a win over a Barrow Raiders side who are hoping to get their season back on track after a disappointing start. This one features the 2010 Championship League leaders against the 2009 champions. But Barrow have slipped down the rankings since that season. They're currently 7th in the table. A win here tonight would move them into 5th place, up above Dewsbury and Widnes. Featherstone, beaten grand finalists last year, can go top above Lee, albeit briefly perhaps, with a win here tonight. Well, after an emphatic victory in the quarter-finals of the Northern Rail Cup last time out, there is just one change to this Featherstone Rovers side, and that is on the bench where Michael Haley comes in for the injured Greg Worthington. It's the same starting 13 that was emphatic victors against Hunslet. Ian Hardman is at fullback, and it's Bryn Powell, Sam Smeaton, Andy Bostock, Tom Saxton, Andy Kane and Liam Finn. In the forwards, Tony Tonks, Ben Kay, Stuart Dickens, John Gratian, Tim Spears and Matty Dale at loose forward. And on the bench for Featherstone Rovers, Michael Haley coming in for Worthington, Ian Morrison, Ross Devorty and Johnny Hepworth. The coach is Darryl Powell. Now then, the Barrow Raiders team, as I said, a disappointing start to the season for them. They've lost 4 of the last 6 in all competitions. Off-the-field problems with the sudden retirement of Brett McDermott, who failed a drugs test while serving a 6-match ban. As usual, plenty of upheaval at the club. Nigel Wright, the current coach, is the 6th in the last 2 years for this Barrow Raiders side, and loan and dual registered players coming into the side for tonight's game. Gary Broadbent is the captain. He is one mainstay of this side, and he's at full-back. Then it's Andy Ballard, Joe Wardle, one of the dual registered players, Liam Harrison, James Nixon, Jamie Rooney, former Featherstone player of course, and James Coyle. Ben Davis, another of the lone players in the side, Mark Gleeson, Matt James, Richard Fletcher, Jack Hughes, another dual registered player, Ned Cattick is at loose forward. And on the bench, Jamie Thackeray returns after a 3-week absence, Michael Knowles, Zeb Luisi, and yet another one of these dual registered players for the Barrow Raiders, Adam Walker. The coach, Nigel Wright, who succeeded Gary Schofield early on in the season. And there is Nigel Wright, who combines, well, it's an unusual lifestyle, shall we say. The former Wigan and England standoff, is a personal fitness trainer in the City of London, spends his working week in Canary Wharf in the gym there, training business people, and then heads up to Cumbria to coach the Barrow Raiders side, working in conjunction with the former Crusaders and Bradford Bulls conditioner and fitness guru Martin Clausen. They have a tall order on their side. This, on paper, is a strong-looking Barrow Raiders side, Terry, but the trick is to get the best out of them.
Well, what Nigel Wright will be after is some consistency, and he would like to say to his players that this is where our season starts tonight. We're up against a very physical side in Featherstone, who are a very good side. They know exactly how to use the conditions here, the pitch in particular, and you've got to say that the best teams in the game have solid foundations, and you only have to look at Stuart Dickens, the Featherstone captain, that he is the heartbeat of this Featherstone side. It's going to be a tough game, Bill.
And Gareth Hewer is the man who'll have charge of it. Just saw a shot of Jamie Rooney there, who was the Barrow Raiders captain, but that's mantle being passed to Gary Broadbent this season. But Rooney back on familiar territory here. We'll be getting this game underway, and Barrow Raiders, having won the toss, will be playing down the slope here at the Big Fellas Stadium, and they're up against a Featherstone side who have shown some pretty good form. They recovered well from the disappointment of losing in the grand final to Halifax last time out. Only 2 defeats in all competitions so far this season. They're looking to go top of the table tonight, and we saw them on Sky just a couple of weeks ago come back strongly in the second half against the champions Halifax, and immediately an inventive kick-off from the Barrow Raiders, which doesn't come up for them. Barrow going for the short kick-off, hoping to get possession from that. But Featherstone have the ball, and it is in the hands of Stuart Dickens.
Well, there's that kick-off. Only a short pitch here at Featherstone with a bit of a slope. So Barrow Challenging Featherstone right from the start.
Hold. Go.
Barrow Raiders in their red away strip.
Fourth. Move.
And there is Darryl Powell, who had, well, by most people's standards, a satisfactory son. Ballard picked up that ball, and this is a chance for Andy Ballard. He's going to get the first points of the night. The mistake by Gratian, the ball squirted out, and Andy Ballard, lightning quick on the wing for the Barrow Raiders. Didn't need a second invitation. He swooped on that ball, and before anybody in Featherstone Rovers colours could react, Ballard was away. There was no doubt about that. Fifth of the season for the former Salford winger, in front of the small contingent of Barrow Raiders supporters, only just arrived here. They can't believe their eyes.
Well, what about the challenge here? Big Johnny Gratian can't hold on to the ball, and Andy Ballard waits for nobody. You'll see the shot right under the ball. Joe Wardle driving Gratian back, and Andy Ballard knows where that line is, doesn't wait for any kind of decision. Puts the ball down. Here you see the impact on the ball. James dislodging the ball, and a perfect start for the side that have made the 2-hour journey down the M6.
Rooney adds the extras, and Barrow Raiders, well, confidence might be a little bit shaky at the moment after the shaky start they've had to the season, but that is just the sort of welcome they want from this Featherstone Rovers side, and what a gift it was from Darryl Powell's men, and Andy Ballard swooped on it and gladly said, thank you very much indeed. Points in the bag for us. Nigel Wright must be thrilled with that.
Well, that's a fantastic start to the game. First of all, going for the short kickoff and then showing the intent in how they want to defend tonight. And that was a fantastic shot by Joe Wardle.
Tony Tonks penalised there.
Well, Tony Tonks trying to make up for it. Was a bit high. There you go on Matt James. Yep. Referee Gareth Hewitt in perfect position to award that penalty.
Get on the line.
So that's just compounding the errors at the start of this game from this Featherstone Rovers side. A mistake and then the penalty, and it gives Barrow Raiders back-to-back possession.
Well, concentration from Featherstone is the key tonight. They could have been penalised on that penalty. They were offside from the tap. And here we go. They can't get the line intact before Barrow are playing the ball.
There is Gary Broadbent, still going strong, and that ball was forward. Just a little bit in the middle of the field there, and Jamie Rooney's pass drifting forward to Richard Fletcher.
Not so sure. Referee in the perfect position.
Let's go, lads. Formation tidy. Heads in.
There's that old angles argument, because it did look forward from that angle. So Featherstone Rovers get their hands on the ball now then. Can they keep their hands on the ball this time? Katic almost guilty of having a second snap there. The referee let that one go. Smeaton. 3 in the tackle to slow down the Young Player of the Year nominee from last year, Sam Smeaton. Spears plays the ball. Here's Ben Kay, and Kay, oh, and that one's dropped as well. Sloppy start. Smeaton the culprit. Darryl Powell keeps his counsel there, but wanted better than this from his side early on.
Well, you could see the frustration on Darryl Powell's face. Sam Smeaton, it's a simple take. He's just having a little look up at Liam Harrison, who was stood in front of him alongside Jack Hughes, putting themselves under pressure, giving penalties away, coming up with mistakes like that in good field position.
There's the ball on the ball. Liam Harrison plays it for the Barrow Raiders, and Fletcher has put that ball down. And the referee says play on. The Barrow Raiders players appealing that ball was ripped out in the tackle, but Gareth Hewitt having none of it, and quickly they sweep it wide, and Smeaton almost threw himself. Rooney in with the tackle, and Liam Harrison. Kay now. Here is Liam Finn. Finn shrugs aside the first challenge. They've got the numbers out here. Ballard is exposed. They must be in the corner. Bostock is. And Andrew Bostock comes up with the response very quickly from Featherstone Rovers, but Gareth Hewitt wants to see if there was obstruction there. That is the only salvation, surely, for this Barrow Raiders side. It was 3 against 1.
Well, we'll have another look at it here. Is it Tony Tonks? No, I'm not too sure. I think the Barrow defender makes the wrong decision. Goes for the man he feels will get the ball. We'll check the grounding.
Ian Smith is the video ref, and Gareth Hewer just waits for the word. And Bostock with the try. 8th of the season for the former Dewsbury centre.
Well, this is good work from Ben Kay, because he was the player that passed the ball that Sam Smeaton dropped. And that's a fantastic reaction. And Featherstone from here, Liam Finn's the important player for Featherstone, with his boot, with his hands, with his running game. He just gives big Andy Bostock that overlap, and he's just too big and too strong near the line. Andy Ballard can't prevent him from placing the ball down.
Well, that celebration in the Barrow Raiders contingent was short-lived. Bostock coming up with that response. Finn has missed with the conversion. Featherstone Rovers 4, Barrow Raiders 6. The scoreline here, the Big Fellows Stadium. Plenty of action early on here. 1 try apiece. Bostock responding to that opportunist Andy Ballard try. Had a great record at the Dewsbury Rams with those 56 in 94 games, and he's already made his mark here at Featherstone Rovers. Now then, Darryl Powell will be wanting his side to complete a tidier set of 6 here. It's been a scrappy start to the game, despite that try. Here's Dickens. Brian Noble among the crowd here at Featherstone this evening, former Great Britain coach.
And good friends with Martin Clausen, the Barrows conditioner. He'll be supporting his friend, watching a good game of Thursday Night Rugby League.
Well, they were together at Crusaders, of course, Brian Noble and Martin Clausen. Here's Saxton now for Featherstone Rovers.
Martin Clausen, just born and bred, just round the corner, son of Terry Clausen. Fantastic forward for many clubs.
Broadbent fields that kick. Wasn't a good one, straight down the middle of the field from Finn. But the reception committee is there. That was Spears and Tonks.
That was good defence, though, from Barrow, just restricting Featherstone to 30 metres with the ball. They were getting off the line very quick, taking the yards of the Featherstone forwards, but good play by Ben Kay. He's putting pressure on Barrow there, and makes the mistake. I think it's Ben Davis who goes for the offload.
Mark Gleeson on the floor, and talking of Gleeson's, word reaching us here at Featherstone that brother Martin has done a deal to join Hull FC. Not confirmed yet, but very strongly rumoured. And a 2-year deal apparently is what has been agreed, or if not finalised, very close to being agreed. So Martin Gleeson's time in the wilderness after his departure from Super League, short-lived. And in actual fact, Martin Gleeson trained at Barrow earlier this week, joined his brother Mark there to just try and get back to some fitness. 5 weeks since Martin Gleeson last played, so a bit of catching up to do, and he's going to be doing that catching up at Hull FC from what we understand. It's Featherstone Rovers on the attack now. Barrow off to that great start with that Ballard try, but since then Featherstone have come back strongly. Matt James high on Finn. Finn bouncing off. Finn could go all the way here. Very nearly does. Broadbent in the end clinging on to him to stop him, and then they concede the penalty. Ned Cattick it was. Desperate defence from Barrow Raiders there, because Liam Finn was threatening to go all the way himself. And Matty Dale makes the first inroads to the Raiders' defence. There they are, right on their try line. Well, they should have been. Ballard wasn't. Again, they're driving in. Dickens is upended and dumped to the ground. Good defence from the Barrow Raiders so far. Kinn got into a bit of a tangle. Here is Andy Kane now, trying to duck under the tackle. Hughes it was. Finn. Tonks looking to get the ball away, just clinging onto it, very nearly lost it. Kay again shovels it out wide. They are in this time, and it's Smeaton. And the pressure telling for Featherstone Rovers. Finn going very close initially. Barrow Raiders just managing to keep him at bay, but Sam Smeaton capitalising on the inevitable gap in the Barrow Raiders defence close to the line to go over to put Featherstone Rovers ahead now.
Well, talked about Liam Finn. The Ireland international keeps his feet, keeps going, and doesn't let Barrow put him on the floor until this point here. And after a couple of tackles, Sam Smeaton on the right edge there, Ian Hardman slots him through the gap, and Sam Smeaton has the simplest of tasks. And Featherstone come rolling back.
Former Featherstone Lions player Sam Smeaton. And there's a reminder of what this Featherstone Rovers side can do. 72-20 they beat the Barrow Raiders last season. In fact, they've had a very good recent record against this Barrow side. 8 wins from 9 meetings against the Raiders for Featherstone, and Finn adds 2 more points. And Featherstone, having suffered a shaky start, 6-0 down, now lead by 10 points to 6, but the coach, well, the expression hasn't changed, and neither has that man's either.
It's a tough job being a coach. But Liam Finn, his game awareness is absolutely fantastic. Willing to take the ball to the line, another short kick-off from Barrow. That was a good tackle by Liam Finn.
I think he felt the impact himself, though. Slow to get to his feet. Dickens driving that ball in. Mark Gleeson there to make the tackle. There is Liam Finn.
Well, look at that. There is Matty Dale. He feels the left shoulder of Liam Finn.
Marcus square. Go.
Okay, here is Finn. Doesn't seem to be suffering any after effects. Gratian holding on to the ball this time. Of course, it was his spill early on that led to that try from Ballard. Here's Tom Saxton now. Katic in there, normally near the scene of the action. Ned Katic wants to be involved. Finn outside of the boot, puts the kick in under a bit of pressure from Joe Wardle, and that was good enough to mean it was a reasonably easy take for Gary Broadbent, and off scoots Andy Ballard. Well, of course, Featherstone Rovers through to the semi-finals of the Northern Rail Cup. Barrow Raiders didn't even make the qualifying, the knockout stages of the Northern Rail Cup, but Featherstone Rovers did, and they will be in the semi-final draw, and you can see that here on Sky Sports live from the Big Fella Stadium at half-time. Featherstone, Dewsbury, Halifax and Lee going into the hat. Dewsbury having knocked out the holders Batley at the weekend, so not to be taken lightly. Warren Jowett's side going into the hat. That'll be at half-time.
Well, Tommy Saxton just doing enough there. This is good defence from Barrow. Is it Matt James? Took out Gleeson. Well, that was a fantastic kick by Jamie Rooney, straight into the corner. Look at the pressure now that's on Featherstone to bring this ball away. Barrow getting numbers into the tackle. It's a slow play of the ball again for Featherstone.
There is Ben Davis wearing 37 on a 4-week loan deal with Wigan Warriors, and great acquisition he'll be as well for Barrow Raiders. That's a 40-20, is it? Broadbent just managing to get back there and tiptoe his way down the sidelines and keep that ball in the field of play. James Nixon in possession. Good to see him back in action, the Scottish international. We saw him suffer a horrendous broken arm on Sky Sports last season, early in the campaign for the Barrow Raiders. Out for the whole campaign. He's back with a bang. Already racking up the tries, Nixon is. But no sign of his threat so far this evening. In fact, I think that was the first time we've seen him in action. Here is Matt James now. Up to the halfway line.
10 minutes, Tim.
Gleeson, Rooney, shifting the ball wide, looking to get it to Harrison, and that was a very important tackle from Kane. And then Rooney drives the ball in, ricochets, and comfortably up into the arms of Tony Tonks.
Well, he won't be happy with that kick, Jamie Rooney. He was looking yet again to kick to the corner to put pressure on Featherstone.
Play on.
Play on, says the referee.
Second, move.
2 tackles gone.
Hold the 10. Ned, come on, 10 metres. It's good. Well
Coming up to the 15 minutes mark, and it's been a lively start to this championship match. here at the Big Fella Stadium, and it's the first match under this new Kids Go Free scheme that the sponsors, the cooperative, are running, where children under the age of 16, accompanied by an adult, are admitted to the game for free. And by the look of things on the terraces, the very astute punters of Featherstone and District have taken full advantage of the sponsors' generosity. The Kids Go Free running throughout the Easter holiday. It's back again during the May holidays, and then again during the summer holidays as well. So a great incentive for youngsters to come down to the game in the championship for free, providing they're accompanied by an adult. And plenty for them to enjoy earlier on here as well, with a lively start to this game. Featherstone Rovers leading 10 points to 6, and looking to put the pressure on the Barrow Raiders now. The red-shirted Raiders trying to work their way out of danger.
Well, Liam Morrison, the number 16, the man who's at first marker, he's on now to try and lift his Featherstone teammates. Done a fantastic job in defence in the opening 15 minutes. It's been Sintam to lift the tempo yet again.
There's Richard Fletcher.
Move!
Very experienced player, as is this man, Jamie Rooney. That's not the best kick.
Bryn
into
Powell.
the arms of Bryn Powell, and here is Hardman now. Hardman going across the field, and then runs into the challenge of Ballard and Wardle. And Wardle, he's a useful player to have in your side, Joe Wardle. He played first team for the Bradford Bulls in 2007, now at the Giants.
Well, Featherstone seem to be sending all the traffic down at Joe Wardle's side. The forward's quite content with just chewing up the yardage like Ian Morrison in the middle of the park, but looking to play in this left edge.
Here's Matty Dale. Dale's Saxton, that familiar first step skip that he comes up with just to get him past the first defender. Dickens doesn't employ any such sort of subtleties. Straight up the middle, Stuart Dickens. It seems to work.
No idea what a sidestep is, Stuart Dickens, but it works for him.
Oh, that looked marginally forward, did it? The referee says waves play on. They do, and Bryn Powell goes in the corner. And Featherstone Rovers have come back strongly from that early setback. And Bryn Powell, another one of the new recruits this season, gets his 6th try of the campaign. The Welsh international just finishing that one off.
And put this down to Liam Finn again, whether it's forward or not. The left to right pass, that's pure class, skill, brilliance. And Bryn Powell has a job to do when he gets the Sam Smeaton offload. But Liam Finn needs a rolling ruck, and I bet Liam Finn will thank Stuart Dickens in his big run. As we mentioned, he used the Samoan sidestep straight as a die, and that's a quality offload.
Bryn Powell coming here after 5 seasons as a Dewsbury Ram. Got 13 tries last year in the Rams colours, and he's already underway, well underway for his new club. Liam Finn looks as though he's did pick up a whack in that collision with his teammate. Blood around the nose. This one from the sidelines, just wide of the target. And 14-6 the scoreline now in favour of Featherstone Rovers. 3 quick tries in response to that early Andy Ballard try for the Raiders. And in fact, Liam Finn is going to need some attention from the sidelines for this blood. Not just on his face, but on his shirt. In fact, Gareth Hewer, well, I think Gareth Hewer's saying he's got to change his shirt as well, but there's blood on his shirt. Again, they go for the high restart, and it could come up. Oh, very nearly did. Gleeson was loitering with intent.
Well, it's a dangerous play, that, Bill, especially when you don't get the ball back. If it's a 50-50, which Barrow were hoping that it is, they get the ball back, but now again, they've not kicked it deep. They go for it. Ned Katic is the man who just can't get there.
3, move!
As it is, it's Featherstone rolling forward again, and Ben Kay does well there. Bostock, that ball is batted down by Joe Wardle at the expense of head and feet at the scrum, but it's stopped the momentum that Featherstone were building up again.
Well, Joe Wardle had to make a decision here because he was caught 2-1. It was good play by Ben Kay to notice that they were short on the right side.
That's sorted, Liam.
Very intelligent hooker, Ben Kay. He had a little look up, saw that
Heads in, Ben,
Joe Wardle was slow getting back. He was flat-footed, and that's where they attacked.
Smeaton, one of the try scorers in this Rovers fight back, plays the ball. Spears.
Hold.
Liam Finn in with the tackle. They've got the numbers stacked up on that right-hand side of Featherstone Rovers. Smeaton cut down by Rooney.
Again, look at that, good vision, 4-2 for attackers on the blind side.
They've got attackers here. Oh, that was a big shot. That stopped Rovers in their tracks there. It was Coyle, I think, who was instrumental on Matty Dale, but there could be another opportunity for Bostock. No, again, good defence. It needs to be from the Barrow Raiders. On the last in this set of 6, crossfield kick, it's a good one, it's knocked down, oh, and just evades Bryn Powell. Nixon just got a hand to it. It's going to be more pressure from Featherstone Rovers on the Barrow Raiders defence.
Well, look at this for pinpoint accurate. A lot of coaches tell the players, stick it on the head of the winger, the fullback, the centre, stick it right on his head, make it difficult, and let's get up there and challenge.
Heading lads, John, heading. Hold the
So
line.
head and feed, and really since Ballard broke away to score for the Barrow Raiders early on, it has been virtually non-stop Featherstone Rovers pressure on this Barrow Raiders line, and they're coming again here with Dickens. Finn shaping inside, then going out. Kane stretching and getting there for another Featherstone Rovers try. Andy Kane, great run of form. That's his 5th try in the last 4 games now, 7 for the season. And the Barrow Raiders defence not able to cope with the way Featherstone Rovers are moving this ball around.
But it's James Nixon who can't control the ball from the kick, giving head and feet to Featherstone. And just watch the movement there. Big Stu Dickens taking it right to the line. That man Liam Finn. And Andy Kane still has a job to do. He still has to keep hold of the ball, control the ball, and reach out and slam it over the line. Duck, handoff, a skid, a slide, and a try. We'll have another look at it. Just look at the Barrow defenders. They don't know whether to stay, go, move. And James Nixon, with a player outside, just can't get at Andy Kane.
Liam Finn presented with another tough touchline conversion. Can he get this one on target? No, he's missed with that. 2 points go begging. 18 points to 6 though, the scoreline now. Featherstone Rovers really taking a grip on this game. Darryl Powell in his observation tower up in the stand to our left. Well, this is looking a bit more like it from his side anyway.
They'll be happy when they've got the ball up on Barrow's line. They didn't slide more, Barrow, and I'm sure Nigel Wright will not be happy with them. You can't slide on your line like Jamie Rooney did there. There was the mistake. Ian Morrison loses the ball.
Bryn Powell offloads it to him in an impossible position. He's got to try and find his front. He's facing his teammate there. There might be an argument to say he has the right to offload that ball, but just looking at the back line of Barrow so far, Broadbent, Ballard, Nixon all missed tackles.
Head and feed to the Barrow Raiders then, a great opportunity to get themselves back in the game. Broadbent, they go down the short side. Here's Hughes, this lanky second rower, faced by another lanky second rower, John Gratian. They're very similar players in actual fact. Gleeson. Here's Rooney now. Katic looking for a gap in the defence and still going. Ned Katic took some stopping there. Thought he'd seen an opportunity. Manages to burrow his way a bit closer to the try line. Rooney. The ball is popped up for James. Struggles to his feet. It's on the last. Can they at least get a repeat set, the Barrow Raiders? Rooney hoists the kick. That ball goes into touch. And it's a tap on the 20, not to be for the Raiders.
Well, they're looking for big James Nixon. The kick from Rooney. James Nixon goes up, he tries to pat it back inside. Fortunately for him and his teammates, he couldn't do that, but that's a fantastic run by Ian Morrison, earning his side a penalty. Big Jack Hughes, he just couldn't control Ian Morrison. He runs straight, he runs strong onto this ball. Jack Hughes knew that he'd lost that tackle. Tried to buy his side an extra couple of seconds.
Fast, move! Let's hold.
Morrison, a very popular figure at his latest club, the Scottish International. Wholehearted performer. That's what they like at Featherstone Rovers. Morrison tackled there by Fletcher, another Scottish international. And once again, it's Barrow. Well, just a moment ago, they were threatening the Featherstone Rovers line, and now it's Barrow's line that is under threat. Finn just pausing, able to pick his spot, really. It's Hardman joining in the line. Cut down by Harrison. Smeaton. Short ball for Kane. Kane serves it up for Dickens. Did Dickens get that one down sufficiently? Yes, he did, says the referee, before Liam Harrison could get there. And unselfish from Andy Kane, because there was the potential, if he wanted to, for him to go it alone. But Dickens, 5 tries from the captain this season now. And that one finishing off another good Rovers attack.
Well, put this try down to the urgency of Ian Morrison. From the top 20, he runs, earns his side a penalty, and the confident mood that Featherstone are in. Just watch the way that Barrow come forward and then stop. They hesitate, and that's a wonderful offload from Kane. And Stu Dickens getting one of the easiest tries of his career. They all count, Big Stu. There's 4 for you.
Long-serving member of this Featherstone Rovers side, Stuart Dickens. His debut for the club came in 1998, still going strong now. And Finn, this one, much more to his liking, virtually in front of the posts. And 24 points to 6 now. Featherstone Rovers really have taken a grip on this game. And Barrow Raiders have taken a battering as well. There must have been such hope in their hearts when they got that early try from Ballard, but quickly evaporating for Nigel Wright and his men.
Well, the old warhorse Stuart Dickens going in for the try, but that was fantastic play by Tim Spears. Again, going for the short kick-off, and again not coming up with the ball.
He could be penalised, almost trying to drag the man into touch. It was Smeaton underneath that ball eventually. One of these short kick-offs has got to come up for the Barrow Raiders. You'd think so. They've got some tall guys in there. Well, that ball's come up for them.
I was just going to make reference to that, Bill. I think Stuart blotting his copybook with a ball straight, but if they keep trying the short kick-off, even a broken clock is wrong twice a day. There you go, Stuart, can't resist it. Knowles, just a bit of a loose carry, and Barrow with a decent bit of field position.
Bang in front of the posts. Gleeson, James, Coyle, well, getting in a tangle. Hughes just managed to stop, put his brakes on there and avoid being penalised. Gleeson. Hughes now was in the right place, but so was the Featherstone Rovers defence. Gleeson. Coyle. Rooney. Again, well watched by Featherstone. They know all about Jamie Rooney. Morrison with the tackle. Is Cattick. Wanting to take him on himself, Ned Cattick. It doesn't make much progress. That's the 5th tackle. Rooney with an opportunity to hoist a kick. Can they time their run this time? They can. And a great ball back inside, and Broadbent is denied by his opposite number, Ian Hardman, with a stupendous tackle right on the line when it looked as though Gary Broadbent was going to go in for the try. And look at that, Bryn Powell in there.
This is
initially, but that is
tackle.
Ian Hardman coming across to complete the tackle and deny the Barrow Raiders captain a try that would have given them some hope as half-time approaches.
That's absolute class, that. Ian Hardman, with the scoreboard ticking over, has more than enough excuse at 24-6 to just think, well, maybe we can let Barrow get one, but his determination keeps Barrow out, and Gary Broadbent, just watch this, bang, comes from nowhere.
Broadbent was in mid-air when Hardman got a hold of him there. It was a remarkable tackle. And Finn has gone for a 40-20 there, but hasn't got the legs, and it's fielded by Nixon.
That's interesting. James Nixon letting that ball bounce. It was an excellent kick. He let it bounce, let it settle. Maybe that's just a sign of the nerves, the lack of confidence. Featherstone definitely in the driving seat in this game, not just on the scoreboard either.
Ben, I said still, you're offside, get square.
Penalty, relieving penalty for the Barrow Raiders. Half an hour gone, they trailed 24-6.
Well, Ben Kay is the man who's picked out, who's not scored at marker. But just watch Featherstone when they're defending their own line. They don't look troubled. They're talking, they're communicating, they're nominating in defence. That makes it so easy for your teammate who stood up next at the side here, whether they get up quick with you, whether they stay back, whether they cover your back. But Featherstone really working hard for each other down this end of the park.
Matt James plays the ball. Here's James Coyle. Rooney, quick hands on, that's batted down, I think. Reaches Nixon anyway. Wasn't a Featherstone hand on it. Tackle count continues. Hughes. Big Jack Hughes, just 19 years of age, dual registered with the Wigan club. Rooney kicks across field, the other wing this time. Ballard bats it down, and Ballard, who was looking for the follow-up, it's come up for Bostock, in fact. Very nearly bounced back for Andy Ballard as he did. Hardman!
Shot!
Matt James went in there.
Matt James, Ian Hardman didn't see that one coming. Comes from nowhere. What about this? Get in the office! Boom! Wooshka.
Here's Gratian. Well, show of defiance from the Barrow Raiders there with that shot from Matt James. He's certainly not giving this one up. Long way to go yet, but a long way to come back from for this Barrow side.
It's still only 3 converted tries, and if there's a team that can score them tries in the championship, with players like James Nixon, he just needs a bit of space on the edge. Gleeson probing at dummy half. His big forwards taking. I'd like to see Jack Hughes with an early ball on the left edge. He's an absolute man-mountain. Give him early ball, let him run against Smeaton, but quite content, just taking the ball, trying to get behind the ruck. This Featherstone side, they've been very strong in the middle of the park, Featherstone.
Joe Wardle eventually managing to get to his feet to play the ball. Gleeson had Gratian all over him. That's the 5th tackle. What's Rooney's kick this time like? It's a little dink over the top. They've let it bounce and it doesn't come up for the Barrow Raiders. There was an opportunity there and Featherstone Rovers got away with that.
Well, a good kick by Rooney. Well, he's trying to offload the ball, trying to pat it back, Liam Harrison, to his winger, James Nixon.
Let's go, Sam.
Just 1 or 2 of those, Barrow will be thinking if just 1 or 2 of those could go our way.
Maybe even if they just go to take the ball themselves. I know that Liam Harrison thinking then that he was caught, he would have got caught straight away, but just chance yourself because it's not coming off that play. They're trying it on numerous occasions. Barrett.
Bostock, I think, hung on to that at the 2nd attempt. Very nearly fumbled it. Here's Matty Dale back in action after a spell out with injury. Matty Dale, one of several Featherstone Rovers players coming back from injury. Of course, they did have terrible prop problems early on with so many players out. Haley was out and Matty Dale, Ross Devorty likewise, he's fit again. And Nixon fields that kick downfield, looking to break clear.
That's good work from Stu Dickens, leading the kick chase. And Featherstone off the back of a good kicking game, just trying to strangle the life out of Barrow.
Katic looking for somebody on his shoulder there. 3 tackles gone. And up to the halfway line, Barrow Raiders. Coyle ships it wide, but Rooney watched by Kane, who just managed to get hold of an ankle. Coyle dinks the kick in, too strong.
20.
Not much option there, James Coyle. Featherstone totally dominant at this point.
Fast! Move!
Winning every battle, winning every play of the ball, winning every contest.
Relentless pace to this first half. It's very few stoppages. Just 5 minutes to go in the first 40, and Featherstone Rovers 24-6 ahead.
Again, Ben Kerr getting out from dummy half. He's asking an awful lot of questions, Ben Kerr. They're quite content. The first two plays of the game, taking up the middle of the park and then looking on the edge. Finn it is this time. Wardle goes again for a big shot on Ian Hardman.
Stay. Go.
Here's Dickens once more.
Surrender!
This is the start of a very tough run of fixtures for this Barrow Raiders side. They've got this game here tonight,
Play on, keep it clear.
and still to come as that ball goes forward and is picked up by Rooney.
Move!
Featherstone tonight, still to come. Lee, Widnes, Halifax in the Championship, and then they've got to go to Wigan in the Challenge Cup. It's going to be a tough few weeks for the Barrow Raiders. It's been a tough 40 minutes. Well, a tough 38 minutes for them. It can't be 38, 35 minutes.
Well, they've just got to learn on the go, and they've got enough skillful players and a good coach in Nigel Wright to know what they've got to do. And when things are going against you, you've just got to find that willingness from within.
Well, can they end the first half at least with a flourish? Here is Ballard, the man that started it so well for them. Zeb Luisi is on. Member of their 2009 title-winning side, Luisi. That's the fifth tackle. Needs to be a good kick, or will they choose to run it? No, Rooney stabs the kick in. It's not a good one, and Smeaton picks it up, looks to get away. Hughes makes the tackle.
Well, they just tried to dink it in behind the Featherstone line, but what you've got to like about this Featherstone side is the way that they're defending. Say it's all about control. You've got to talk to your teammate. They've only missed one tackle in this first half, where Barrow have missed 11.
Well, the Barrow Raiders club saddened this week by the death of Dennis Goodwin, who played 341 times for the club and also played for York, Leeds and Great Britain. And Mr. Goodwin was 81 years of age when he died earlier this week. He was a 1958 Lions tourist as well, Dennis Goodwin. And Barrow Raiders will be commemorating his passing with a minute's silence with the during the game with Widnes on Good Friday.
Move! Wait! Go.
And it's the 2011 Barrow side in action and trailing here, 24 points to 6. Up against last year's beaten grand finalist Featherstone, and the error, the ball comes back.
Is that a penalty?
And should, well,
was he offside?
There was a suspicion, as it is. Gareth Hewer gives head and feed to Featherstone, very keen to get the scrum pack down.
There's some tired Barrow players at this point here. Well,
let's go, Seb, head in, lad.
there's a knock-on anyway.
Let's go, fellas, let's get the scrum down.
So head and feed for Featherstone, and far from
Let's go, Liam, come on.
Barrow Raiders having an opportunity to get some points on the board before the half-time hooter. It's Featherstone with the opportunity to put more daylight between the two sides.
Fast!
Smeaton.
Move! 2 feet line. Let's do it, Mike. Let's go.
Takes the tackle. It's with Ross Devorty, and Devorty gets it away to Finn.
Second! Move! Oh, it's Seb.
Matty Dale just a few instructions to the men on his left, but the ball goes to the right, and it's Devorty again. Michael Knowles with the tackle on another one of the Welsh internationals out there. Here's Liam Finn. Hardman's kick. Played at, says the referee. He's wiped the tackle count clean, and Gratian picks it up, weaving his way back in field towards the middle of the field.
Go.
Coming up to the last minute here. Finn.
Second! Move! Line fella,
It's gruelling work for the Barrow Raiders defence. It has been virtually since they scored that early try. Dickens, that ball is batted down, and they'll get it back, will they? No, it's another knock-on. It was the chase in vain from Adam Walker.
Well, that's the correct decision. Stuart Dickens looking to pick up Ian Hardman, set him free underneath the sticks. Adam Walker made a play for that ball according to the referee, Gareth Hewitt.
Let's go, guys, head in. Time on.
Darryl Powell hoping that his side can post another try before the end of the first 40 minutes here at Featherstone.
Wait.
Broadbent grimacing as he went in to make the tackle along with Rooney. Here is Dickens, Finn, Hardman. What a tackle that was to deny Broadbent at a stage in the game where if Barrow got across, that might have just perked them up. As it is, this could depress them because Bostock has got his second of this first half. And it has ended with Featherstone Rovers putting more distance between themselves and their challengers from Cumbria. And Andy Bostock, big, chunky centre, signed in the close season, doing what he was brought in for, bringing some beef to the middle of the park for this Featherstone side.
Well, it's just a constant pressure. First of all, that kick was played at by Zeb Luisi. And then it's this play that Adam Walker, he plays at that ball. Again, it's just about building pressure for this Featherstone side. But Andy Bostock, one of the biggest centres in this competition, you can't stand back and let him run at you. Just too big, too strong, carried Andy Ballard over for a simple try for this Featherstone side, who've been rampant in this first half.
Liam Finn, this one favouring his kicking style. Oh, he's pushed it across the face of the posts. Finn probably just a shake of the head, I think, in fact, from the Championship Player of the Year 2010. Not impressed with his kicking style, but Featherstone Rovers supporters impressed with the way their side has come battling back here at the Big Fella Stadium. Going down early on, 6 points to nil to that early try from Andy Ballard. But what a comeback it has been from the Rovers. They really are in command.